Earning 100,000 pesos in extra income is possible just by doing freelance work. And if you're interested to learn how I did it and how you can do it yourself too, then you should definitely watch this video where I will share 5 things. First thing is the type of freelancing job that I did. Then I will also talk about my contract and scope of work, which will also give you an idea on how long it took me to earn 100,000 pesos, how I managed to deliver my freelance work while still in my 9 to 5 job, some career-changing realizations from this experience, and pieces of advice that can help you get started if you're also interested to pursue entrepreneurial freelancing. Let's jump right in. If you've been following my videos here on Brand Start and in my TikTok account, you'd know that I actually worked for 10 years as a corporate manager. My career then revolved mainly around branding and marketing, and that's what I use as leverage to start my first freelance stint. So the freelance job that I did was professional consulting, which means I offered my professional expertise as a service in exchange for a fee. How this works is first I assess the state of the business of the client, then analyze it, then third, diagnose what they really need so I can add value by recommending some plan of actions, programs that can help them address their problems and achieve their business goals. In my case, I worked as a brand and marketing consultant for an art gallery that needed help in terms of firming up their foundation and setting up the future of their business through brand strategy and some marketing ideas that they can do for their brand. I want to be honest with you by sharing that because it was my first freelance consulting project, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to lay out my services, what my prices for my services should be, how the project would turn out, but you never say no to an opportunity, right? Especially so if you know that you can actually help the client. So I took the opportunity, studied it, and just tried to learn along the way. This is why I thought of sharing with you the second item in this video, which is my actual contract and scope of work. Here is the contract for my freelance project as a consultant. Some interesting things here would be first the date. As you can see, this was towards the tail end of my corporate career. You'll also notice here the very first version of the Vineyards logo, since this project actually became the prelude for me to start my now full-fledged company called the Vineyard Brand Consultancy. Let me run you through with the different parts of this contract. The first part is really just reinforcing my role and also reiterating the expertise that I was offering. Then more importantly here would be the scope of work, because this is where I detail what I was committing as deliverables to the client, beginning with foundational and strategic brand development to the marketing program to some business advisories covering some aspects of their operations. Moving to the fees, the final monthly rate that we agreed on was 37,490 pesos net of discount, which I think came from the negotiations with the client. The project duration here was for 3 months. So if you compute it, I actually earned 112,470 pesos in extra income as a freelance brand and marketing consultant. The rest of the contract are really just some standard clauses that are stipulated in the agreements that we had for the project, because this will actually protect both interests of the parties, right? But the question now is, how do I manage to deliver my freelance work when I still had my full-time job? So I really hope that you'd stay until the end of this video, because the last item also would really be tips that can help you get started if you're also interested in pursuing professional or freelance consulting. The way I managed it was to lay out a detailed project timetable within the 3-month timeline. That allowed me and the client to be on the same page. Then all of my tasks, from planning, developing the strategy, creating ideas for the client, including client meetings and presentations, usually happen every after work. That means that I spent at least 2 to 3 hours every after my day job, and even sometimes sacrificing my weekends just to ensure that I'm able to deliver and fulfill my commitment to the client. In a few instances that the client was only really available during weekdays and during office hours, I of course had to file leaves. So it was really being creative on how I can juggle doing two things, my full-time work in the corporate and my freelance consultant gig. I'm telling you, it was really a sacrifice and it took a lot of work to earn that extra 100,000 pesos. I had to let go a lot of my rest and relaxation time and even some of my weekends. But was it worth it? Definitely, because aside from earning that extra income, this consulting project paved way for me to have a clear idea on how I want my career path to be and actually gave birth for me to firm up my decision to resign and become a full-time entrepreneur and professional consultant. This leads me to the fourth item that I want to talk to you about, which are the 3 realizations that changed my career path for good. First is realizing that I can earn money doing what I love to do. Second is that I can earn in my own terms. Third is realizing that there are opportunities outside of my corporate job. And all it took was for me to look for them and create opportunities for myself. If these things resonate with you and you're also very interested to pursue professional consulting or freelancing as a side work or even a full-time job, my advice for you would be, number 1, don't rush. While I'm an advocate of pursuing something that you love, even if it means quitting your job, you can actually try freelancing while still working in your 9-to-5 job. Next is find your zone of genius. Ask yourself, which field do you feel most equipped and confident in doing that you can actually offer it as service to potential clients. Lastly is just get started. Don't overthink it because similarly to my experience, you will most likely start with more questions than answers. And I'm telling you, you will never find the answers to your questions until you take action and just get started. I hope this video gives you a boost and inspiration that we don't have to get stuck in a place or a job where we don't find joy and fulfillment anymore. If I managed to earn 100,000 pesos in 3 months doing freelance job, it only shows you the possibilities for yourself as well. If consulting or freelancing is also something that you're very interested in, I suggest you watch my other videos where I talk in detail on how you can start your own service-based business and top 5 side hustle ideas that can help you earn extra income. Thank you so much for watching and know that I'm here rooting for your success, and I really hope that you find the courage to pursue opportunities and do something that you really love. Until then, and as I'd always remind you, dare to dream big. File my leaves and sorry, mali. Blooper. Scrap this.